Hello dear students of class 11th. This is your ALS listening test. In this video, you will listen to 4 tasks. Task 1, Task 2, Task 3 and Task 4. Let's begin with Task 1. Task 1. You will hear 5 short extracts of people talking about different cities. Read the statements given below, then listen to the extracts and match each statement A to G to each speaker 1 to 5. Find 2 statements which are not required. You will hear the recording twice. Now listen to 5 short extracts of people talking about different cities. Speaker 1. This was the place which I visited last year. The place is always on television, in films, in magazines, and so you can get a mental picture of what it is like even if you haven't been there. You have this image of tall buildings everywhere, streets full of traffic and people. Everyone rushing around, talking fast and leading busy lives. And guess what? It was just like that. Everyone I expected to find was there. In fact, it all seemed so familiar that it was as if I had actually been there. Speaker 2. I discovered after I had been there that you need to be really careful about choosing such a place. There are busy times and quiet times. Without realizing, I chose one of the busy times. The place was packed and narrow streets made movement difficult. As a result, I couldn't manage to see much. The place, of course, looks wonderful, but I could have seen much more if there had been greater room to move. Speaker 3. Everyone talks highly of this place, and I was expecting something really special. Though I must say, the picture I had in my mind didn't turn out to be totally accurate. In fact, it not only lived up to my expectations, it exceeded them. People always associate it with its famous buildings, but it was the well-known places that attracted me. In every little street, I found something fascinating to see. It's those little streets which were memorable for me. Speaker 4. I had been looking forward to going there for a long time, and I finally managed it. People had told me that it wasn't the same as it used to be. Apparently, it has much more to offer tourists now, but I found it rather confusing. Half the time, I didn't know where I was, and getting from one place to another was always a problem. I normally have a good sense of direction, but somehow I was always getting lost. Speaker 5. I had heard that it is a fantastic place, so I decided to go and see for myself. It has the reputation of being a place you never forget, and lots of people say it's their favorite city. Generally, the places that you see pictures of all the time or those that you see in films are impressive enough. But I have seen better. It's a nice place and is certainly popular with tourists. But I don't think it deserves all the praise people give it. Task 2. You will hear an interview with music therapist Dr. T.V. Sairam on the benefits of music. Read the sentences given below, then listen to the conversation and choose one correct option, A or B or C, for each sentence. You will hear this recording twice. Interviewer: Dr. Sairam, music therapy is being encouraged recently all over the world. You have been seriously engaged in researching Raga Chikitsa for quite some time and reviving an ancient healing tradition called Nada Yoga. I would like to know, what is Nada Yoga? Is it a form of music therapy? Dr. Sairam: you have got it right. Nada is intonation, which is believed to be having therapeutic effects, not only for the body and mind of the individuals, but also for the whole family or community. Music is a universal language that can bind nations, bridge gaps, unite religions as it reaches your soul. As a result, the power of music is therapeutic. That is, it is used in curing diseases. Medical research has found music therapy to aid patients in pain management. It is not surprising, as music affects the body and mind significantly. Interviewer: how do you think alternative therapists and traditional healers can work alongside music therapists? Dr. Sairam: music therapy necessitates teamwork. To start with, there is the teamwork between client and therapist. Like two hands coming together to make a clap, the one-to-one rapport is essential for a successful intervention. We may combine music therapy with other forms of alternative therapies such as physiotherapy, aromatherapy, etc. It is again essential that different therapists sit together and work out a procedure which complements each other. For this purpose, while music therapists are exposed to such systems to increase their efficiency, the alternative therapist should also be exposed to music therapy. Interviewer: is music therapy limited to India and Indian classical music alone? Dr. Sairam: not at all. Music therapy goes back to biblical times, when David played the harp to rid King Saul of an evil spirit. As early as 400 BC, Hippocrates, Greek father of medicine, played music for his mentally ill patients. Aristotle described music as a force that purified the emotions. Interviewer: how does music therapy help in healing the body? Dr. Sairam: music gives serenity and peace. Listening to music creates positive vibrations in the mind which ward off negativity, thus shielding the mind from becoming depressed. Music, especially upbeat tunes, can take your mind off what stresses you and help you feel more optimistic. Music can improve one's mood by reducing stress and lowering anxiety levels, which can counteract or prevent depression. Listening to soft, serene music for only 30 minutes a day for 2 weeks helps in overcoming depression. Interviewer: what are the diseases that respond to music therapy? Dr. Sairam: Alzheimer's and dementia are two of the diseases most commonly treated with music therapy. Music therapy helps stroke victims recover faster and with more success by increasing the patient's positive emotions and motivation, allowing them to be more successful. Adolescents have identified many benefits of listening to music, including emotional, social, and daily life benefits, along with the formation of one's own identity. Music can provide a sense of independence and individuality, which in turn contributes to one's own self-discovery and sense of identity. It can also serve as a creative outlet to release or control emotions and find ways of coping with different difficult situations and depression. Task 3. You will hear a man talking about his memories of Indian Railways. Read the questions given below, then listen to the extract twice and choose 4 of the options A to G, which are correct. You will hear this recording twice. Most of our childhood memories still revolve around playing with our friends, holding each other's shoulders, forming a line, and pretending to move like a train. Many of us travel by train to experience diverse cultures and taste its spicy food. Gone are those days, but memories still get us nostalgic in no time. Trains take me to a different world. I have always thought traveling by train is special. I know people talk about bad food, unclean toilets, but India is a huge country, and to be able to connect from Kashmir to Kanyakumari is a big deal indeed. I grew up with books at home stamped the railway bookshop. Buying a novel or a book before hopping onto a train was such a nice experience in those days. In fact, I could get cheap paperback books. These books were expensive and easily manageable to carry in the pockets. Well, Coming back to what I was saying, Indian railways have been a part of so many memories, right from the Indian Railways timetables to the tangy railway curries and of course the steam engine. I was so fond of the meal plates that they used at railway canteens that I made my mom to buy one for my 10th birthday. We miss so many things of the old railway. The modern world rail line that went into the small villages in the suburbs of Kolkata, the sprawling BNR or Bengal Nagpur Railway Guest House in Puri, and of course the first class coaches long before they were air conditioned. I want the charm of traveling in the Indian trains of yore to come back. Task 4. You will listen to two students, a boy and a girl, debate on the topic Anti-Ragging Campaign. Read the sentences given below, then listen to the conversation twice and complete the sentences with one or two words only. You will hear this recording twice. Ria. Hi Sumit. So you have finally joined the anti-ragging cell? Sumit. Yes, Ria. I feel rather strongly about it. I mean, I can't let my classmates get away doing improper things to children half their age. Ria. I also feel strongly about it, but I think it is also being blown out of proportion by some people. Sumit. It's not always as harmless as that. And again, who are we to decide if a child needs to smarten up by reciting poems in public? I'm not sure all public speakers would manage to speak well when they were 8 or 10. Ria. I see that you have a point, but I am worried that people will start hating me if I join the campaign against ragging. Some parents think that this campaign in our school makes it seem like a dangerous place than it actually is. Sumit. There can be an unfortunate incident which could even be called heinous. It may be anywhere, but we are careful and aware. We want our school to be absolutely safe, and it can happen when seniors like us take responsibility. This menace needs to be curbed by providing alternate and healthy ways of interaction, which are more effective. We can have an interactive session between seniors and juniors. These activities enable friendly socialization. Ria. What about the things that happen outside schools? I mean, I face a lot of harassment after dark on my way back from my coaching classes. And nobody seems to be bothered about it. There are no young men or women in the neighborhood willing to volunteer for surveillance in the evenings. Sumit. What about talking to the police for more security? Ria. I mean, if something serious happens, I really have to report it to the police. But often, we girls choose to ignore it and not even talk about it. We need more than laws to remove this evil from our society. But more importantly, we need to speak up. Sumit. That's really terrible. I think I'm going to talk to the neighborhood welfare secretary and insist on organizing a volunteer committee. Such steps are required for making a better and safer place for all of us. Ria: Great! We are thinking together about this. Somewhere down the line, we need to understand that the true meaning and the higher goal of ragging is bonding with no strings of selfishness. This needs to be realized and followed. Only then a better world for students can exist. Thank you. That's the end of the test.